All right, let's dive into some crypto news that's got everyone talking.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
The departure of SEC Chair Gary Gensler.
And the timing is,
Oh, yeah. The timing?
it's definitely interesting.
Raising eyebrows for sure.
Yeah, raising eyebrows.
We've got 2 articles from the block to help us unpack all this.
One's a quick news hit, and the other is,
A deeper dive.
yeah, a more in-depth analysis.
Both of them point to this fascinating question.
What happens to crypto regulation now?
With Gensler out and
Yeah.
former President Trump back in the White House,
Yeah, Trump's back.
things could get interesting.
What's particularly interesting is that Gensler's exit is happening, just as a very different political climate is emerging.
It's like the changing of the guard, almost.
You could say that.
And Trump has been very vocal,
Yeah.
a vocal supporter of crypto.
Oh, yeah.
And during his campaign, he
didn't exactly hold back.
did not hold back on his feelings about Gensler's approach.
On Gensler
regulation.
Not at all.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
The SEC's official statement saying Gensler chose to leave because it was an honor of a lifetime.
An honor of a lifetime.
It's a little hard to believe,
Yeah.
especially when you consider he's leaving on January 20, 2025,
Oh, wow.
the exact day Trump starts his new term.
The same day.
And let's not forget Trump's campaign promise
Oh, yeah, that was a big one.
to, let's just say,
Yeah.
replace Gensler if he won.
I think replace is putting it mildly.
Right.
The timing is definitely suggestive.
Definitely.
It's hard not to see this as a direct result
Mm-hmm.
of the shifting political landscape,
Right.
with crypto potentially poised for a very different regulatory future.
Yeah, a potential sea change.
It seems like we're not just talking about a change in personnel,
Yeah, it feels bigger than that.
but a potential shift in the entire philosophy
At the top of the SEC.
at the top.
It's a big deal.
Absolutely. Gensler has been very clear
Uh-huh.
in his view that most cryptocurrencies should be classified as security.
And security.
This would essentially bring them
Okay.
under the SEC's regulatory umbrella,
Interesting.
designed for traditional financial instruments.
So like stocks and bonds and all that.
Exactly.
And that hasn't exactly made him Mr. Popular in the crypto community.
That's putting it mildly.
Huh. Right.
The industry has been pushing back,
Yeah.
arguing that the SEC's regulations are like
Uh-huh.
trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
I like that.
They say these rules, designed for things like stocks and bonds,
Right.
simply don't work
Okay.
for the fast-moving,
Mm-hmm.
decentralized world of crypto.
But Gensler's SEC hasn't been shy about enforcing their view.
No, they haven't.
Have they?
Not at all.
We saw them take action
Yeah.
against major crypto players like Coinbase,
Oh, yeah.
Binance,
Big names.
and Kraken.
Yeah.
Those are big names in the crypto world.
Yes, and that's a key part of Gensler's legacy
At the SEC.
at the SEC.
Yeah.
He made it clear that crypto was a priority
A priority.
for the agency.
Okay.
It's interesting, though.
What's that?
The SEC itself highlighted
Okay.
the volume of crypto-related complaints
Oh, really?
they received.
Yeah.
They said 18% of their tips,
Wow.
complaints and referrals were about crypto,
18%.
despite the fact that the crypto market makes up
Yeah.
less than 1% of the U.S. capital market.
That's a pretty big discrepancy.
It is.
It really highlights how much attention the SEC has been focusing on this relatively new sector.
They've also been very vocal
Yeah.
about their belief that the courts have consistently sided with them
Okay.
in their efforts to protect investors.
Interesting.
It's a signal that they believe
Yeah.
they're on solid legal ground
Okay.
and that their approach is justified.
So they're saying we're doing this because we're right.
Essentially, yes.
But with Gensler on his way out and Trump coming back in,
Hmm.
does that message hold the same weight?
Good question.
Could we see a dramatic shift?
In the SEC's approach to crypto,
Yeah, that's what everyone's wondering.
that's the million-dollar question.
Exactly.
Trump has been advocating
Uh-huh.
for a more hands-off approach
Okay.
to crypto regulation,
Interesting.
framing it as a potential economic powerhouse
A powerhouse.
that could attract investment and drive innovation.
So he sees it as a positive thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's even suggested
Okay, what's that?
that the U.S. could fall behind other nations
Oh, wow.
if it becomes too heavy-handed with regulations.
So it's a warning almost.
You could see it that way.
So we've got a pro-crypto president coming back to the White House
Uh-huh.
and a crypto-skeptic SEC chair heading for the exit.
What a change
What could this actually mean?
for the crypto industry.
In practical terms.
In practical terms.
Will this translate into tangible changes?
Well, there are several scenarios that could play out.
Okay, let's hear them.
One possibility and the one most crypto enthusiasts are hoping for,
Yeah.
is a significant loosening of regulations.
Less red tape.
Less red tape, more breathing room
For businesses.
for businesses to innovate and grow.
Okay.
Trump could appoint a new SEC chair
Right.
who aligns with his views on crypto.
Someone more open to it.
Someone more interested in fostering innovation than cracking down.
That sounds like a best-case scenario.
It does, doesn't it?
For many in the crypto world.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
But what about the flip side?
What do you mean?
What if Trump's pro-crypto stance
Yeah,
is more about rhetoric than actual policy change?
it's definitely a possibility.
Really?
We have to remember that Trump is also a businessman,
Right.
and he's known for being, well,
Yeah,
unpredictable.
that's one word for it.
He might decide that the potential downsides
Okay.
of a lightly regulated crypto market,
Like what?
things like scams
Uh-huh.
and market manipulation,
Uh-huh.
outweigh the benefits.
I see. So he might be more cautious?
It's possible.
Oh.
Or could he even surprise everyone and push for stricter regulations than Gensler?
Now that would be a twist.
It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Trump has defied expectations before.
That's true.
The reality is,
Yeah.
it's difficult to predict with certainty.
So we just have to wait and see.
Exactly. But it's clear that the crypto world is watching
Very closely.
very, very closely.
Oh, I'm sure they are. This is a big moment for crypto.
It is. It really is.
All right, so we've got Gensler leaving,
Uh-huh.
Trump returning.
And a whole lot of uncertainty in the air.
That about sums it up.
What are the key things
Yeah, what should we be looking for?
that will signal which direction this is all going in?
That's the question.
The first thing to watch is who Trump appoints as the new SEC chair.
Okay, that makes sense.
That will be a major indicator
Oh,
of the direction he wants to take things.
right.
If it's someone with a background in crypto or fintech,
Okay.
that could signal a more progressive,
More open and
innovation-friendly approach.
Yeah, but if it's someone from the traditional finance world?
That might suggest a more cautious,
More of the same.
regulatory-heavy stance.
So the new SEC chair will be a big tell.
A big tell.
Yeah. But beyond the personnel changes,
Yes.
we also need to look at the actual policies and regulations
Absolute.
that come out of the SEC, right?
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly.
We need to see whether the focus will be on creating clarity and certainty for businesses operating in the crypto space,
So making it easier for them.
or if the emphasis will remain on enforcement actions.
So will the new administration be trying to create a framework for crypto to thrive,
Okay.
or will they be trying to contain it?
That's the key question.
It is, isn't it?
And it's not just the SEC
Oh, right.
that will be calling the shots.
Who else?
Congress also plays a big role.
Of course.
They're the
Who
ones
write the laws.
who ultimately write the laws.
So we need to keep an eye on what's happening.
On Capitol Hill.
On Capitol Hill as well.
This is starting to feel like a really intricate puzzle,
It is, isn't it?
but it's a fascinating puzzle to try to solve.
It is. Okay, let's step back for a second and bring this back to our listener.
Yeah, good idea.
Why should they care about all this?
Why should they care?
What's the takeaway for them?
Whether someone is already invested in crypto
Uh-huh.
or just curious about it,
Okay.
this is a potential turning point.
A turning point.
The decisions that are made in the next few months
Uh-huh.
could have a significant impact
On their financial future.
on their financial future. Yeah.
So for our listener, what should they be doing?
Stay informed,
Okay.
do your research,
Right.
and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's good advice.
This is a complex and constantly changing landscape,
It definitely is.
and it's important to be an active participant,
Okay.
not just a passive observer.
I like that. Great advice. Now, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with a thought.
A thought.
We've talked a lot about the big picture,
Uh-huh.
the regulatory landscape,
Right.
and the potential implications.
Big stuff.
But what about you personally?
Personally,
How do you see all of this
all of this,
impacting your own relationship with crypto?
that's a great question.
It is, isn't it?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
Are you optimistic about the potential for innovation and growth?
Okay.
Or are you concerned about the risks and uncertainties?
Risks and uncertainties.
There's no right or wrong answer.
No right or wrong answer.
It all comes down to your own individual circumstances,
Okay.
risk tolerance,
Uh-huh.
and beliefs about the future of finance.
We've certainly given you a lot to think about,
A lot to think about.
but we're just getting started.
Well, there's more.
In the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll be taking a closer look
At
at some of the specific policy proposals
policy proposal.
being debated in Congress.
Okay, so we're going to Capitol Hill.
We are. We'll unpack what they could mean for the future of the crypto market
Okay.
and what you need to know to navigate.
To navigate this evolving landscape.
Sounds good.
So stay tuned.
Picking up where we left off.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's shift our focus
Okay.
to Capitol Hill
At Capitol Hill.
and see what's brewing
What's brewing?
on the policy front.
Okay. On the policy front,
I think our listener is probably wondering
I bet they are.
what these big changes might actually look like.
Yeah, what does it all mean?
In the real world,
In the real world, right?
like how will this actually affect things?
Yeah, what's going to change?
It's like a tug of war going on
A tug of war.
between those who want to see crypto tightly regulated,
Uh-huh.
almost like traditional finance,
Okay.
and those who worry
Uh-huh.
that would stifle its potential.
Right, so you've got the people who want to be careful
Yeah, protect investors.
and the people who want to let it grow. It's exact.
It's a delicate balance
It is.
between protecting investors and fostering innovation.
You got it.
So let's dive into some of the specific ideas
Yeah, let's get specific.
being debated right now.
One of the hottest topics
What's that?
is stable coins.
Stable coins. I've heard a lot about those.
Oh, it's a big deal.
What makes them so important?
Stable coins are cryptocurrencies
Okay.
designed to maintain a stable value,
Stable value.
usually pegged to the US dollar.
So it stays at $1.
Yeah, most of the time.
Interesting.
They're often used for everyday transactions.
Oh, so you can actually use them?
Yeah, people are using
I
them
buy stuff.
and are seen as a key bridge
A bridge.
between the crypto world
Okay.
and the traditional financial system.
So kind of like a digital version of cash?
Yeah, like digital cash.
Okay, I'm starting to get it.
And because they're used for everyday transactions,
Right.
they're attracting a lot of attention from regulators.
Oh, I see.
Some lawmakers want to see very strict rules
Uh-huh.
around how stablecoins are issued,
Issued.
how they're created,
Okay.
and what assets back them.
So like what's guaranteeing their value?
Exactly.
Makes sense. They want to make sure
They want to make sure
stable coins are actually stable.
and that people's money is safe.
Yeah, that's important.
They argue that without proper safeguards,
Okay.
stablecoins could pose a systemic risk
A systemic risk.
to the entire financial system.
So like a domino effect.
Kind of, yeah.
If one stablecoin fails, the whole system could be in trouble.
That's the fear.
But isn't there a concern that overregulation
Oh, yeah, that's the other side of it.
could make stablecoins less appealing to use
Uh-huh.
and hinder innovation in the payment space?
It's a valid concern.
So it's a trade-off between safety and innovation,
Exactly. It's a classic dilemma.
balancing innovation with consumer protection.
You got it.
Okay, so stablecoins are a big battleground.
A big one.
What else is Congress grappling with?
Another major issue is the classification of cryptocurrencies.
Right, figuring out what they are.
Remember? Gensler's SEC
Yeah,
took a hard line,
a hard line on that.
arguing that most cryptocurrencies are securities.
And that puts them under the SEC's jurisdiction.
Exactly.
And that caused a lot of friction
Oh, yeah.
with the crypto industry.
It did. And now, some members of Congress
Okay,
are looking at ways to clarify those definitions.
to make it clearer what's what.
There's a bill that's been
A
introduced
bill.
that proposes a new test
A new test.
for determining whether a crypto asset is a security.
Oh, so a new way of figuring it out.
Exactly.
That sounds intriguing.
It is, isn't it?
How would it work?
It essentially boils down to
Boils down to.
how the crypto asset is being used.
Okay.
Is it primarily being offered as an investment opportunity?
Okay.
Or is its main function providing utility
Utility.
within a network?
Okay.
If it's the latter,
Okay.
it might not be considered a security.
So this new test
This new tech
could potentially carve out
carve out
a whole category of cryptocurrencies.
a whole category.
From SEC oversight.
That's the idea.
Wow, that would be a big change.
It would be huge.
It would be a huge win
a huge win
for the crypto industry.
for the crypto industry. But of course,
But of course,
it remains to be seen whether this bill will gain enough support
enough support
to
to.
become law.
So we'll have to wait and see.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got stablecoins
Uh-huh.
and classification.
Two big ones.
Anything else on Congress's crypto agenda?
Well, taxation.
Tax.
That's another big area of focus.
Nobody likes to talk about taxes.
I know, but they're important.
The IRS has been trying to figure out how to apply existing tax laws to crypto transactions.
Which is tricky.
And it's created a lot of confusion.
Confusion.
And uncertainty.
A lot of uncertainty.
I can imagine it's such a new asset class.
Yeah.
The old rules don't always fit neatly.
That's putting it mildly.
Right. So some lawmakers are pushing for clearer guidelines on crypto taxation.
They want to make it easier
for
individuals and businesses to comply with the law.
Right.
And would also encourage more investment in the crypto space.
So make it more attractive.
That's the idea.
To invest.
It sounds like there's a lot happening.
There is.
On Capitol Hill.
It's almost like everyone's trying to figure out the rules of the game while the game is still being played.
That's a great way to put it.
It is, isn't it?
And that's part of what makes this such a dynamic and fascinating space to watch.
With all these different bills and proposals floating around.
It can be overwhelming.
How can our listener make sense of it all?
That's a good question.
What are the key things to pay attention to?
I'd say there are three main things to watch.
3 things, okay.
First, look at who is supporting and opposing these different proposals.
Who's on which side?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Are they aligned with the crypto industry?
Okay.
Or are they coming from traditional financial institutions?
So see where their interests lie.
That can give you a sense which way the wind is blowing.
So follow the money
Yeah.
and the influence, essentially.
Exactly. Second, pay close attention to the language of the bills themselves.
The language.
Are they written in a way that's clear and straightforward?
Clear and straightforward?
Or are they full of jargon and loopholes?
Ah, the loopholes.
The devil is often in the detail.
So we need to read between the lines.
Yeah, read between the lines.
And really understand the implication.
Exactly. And finally, don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
How do these policy debates fit into the overall political climate?
Right. So what's the overall mood?
Are we seeing a genuine shift, a more pro-crypto stance from policymakers?
Okay.
Or are they still primarily skeptical and cautious?
So is it real change or just talk?
That's the question.
It's like watching a political drama unfold.
It is.
With high stakes.
For the future of crypto.
For the future of crypto, absolutely.
Exactly. And how this drama plays out will have major consequences.
Major consequences.
For the entire industry.
It's a big deal.
Okay, so we've talked about Gensler's departure.
Right. Yeah.
Trump's return. And the legislative battles brewing in Congress.
What a whirlwind.
What's the next stop?
I think it's time.
On our deep dive.
To zoom out a bit.
Zoom out.
And explore.
Explore what?
How these developments in the U.S. Might ripple outwards. Affecting the global crypto landscape.
The global landscape, that's a great idea.
Because let's be real.
Let's be real.
Crypto doesn't stop at any country's borders.
It's global, right?
It's inherently global and decentralized.
So what happens in one major market?
Like the U.S.?
Like the U.S.
Can have a huge impact.
A huge impact.
So what are we seeing happening internationally?
That's the question, isn't it?
Are other countries following the U.S.'s lead?
In terms of regulation?
Yeah, in terms of regulation.
Or are they going their own way?
Are they doing their own thing?
It's a mixed bag, really.
A mixed bag.
Some countries are taking a very cautious approach. Similar to what we saw from the SEC under Gensler. They're worried about the potential risks of crypto.
Like what?
Things like money laundering, fraud, and market manipulation.
So they want to be careful.
They want to protect themselves.
So they're putting up guardrails.
Yeah, putting up guardrails.
Trying to control the flow of crypto.
The flow of crypto.
In their borders.
Exactly. But then you have other countries.
You're a country that are
much more open.
More open to crypto.
And embracing of crypto.
Oh, interesting.
They see it as a potential engine.
An engine.
Of economic growth. And innovation.
So they're embracing it.
They are.
Instead of fearing it.
They're actively trying to attract
the direct
crypto businesses and investors.
So they want the crypto business.
They want to be the crypto hub.
So it's almost like a global competition.
You could say that.
To become the most crypto-friendly jurisdiction.
In a way, yes.
Wow.
Countries are realizing that crypto is here to stay.
It's here to stay.
And they're trying to position themselves to benefit from it.
It makes you wonder.
It does, doesn't it?
How this global regulatory landscape might affect the average crypto investor.
The average person.
Yeah.
Someone like me.
It's a good point. If you're thinking about investing in crypto,
Yeah.
it's important to be aware of the regulatory environment.
Not just in your own country.
Not just in your own country,
That's
but
right.
also in the countries where the crypto projects you're interested in are based.
That makes sense.
So do your homework.
Do your homework.
Understand the rules of the game.
Wherever you're playing. Wherever you're playing.
Exactly. Because those rules can change.
They can change.
And they can have a big impact.
A big impact on your investments.
Okay, so we've got this patchwork of regulations emerging around the world.
What are some of the key trends or developments?
Yeah, what should we be watching for?
That you're watching closely?
What might tip the scales?
Tip the scales.
One way or the other.
In this global crypto tug of war.
That's a good question.
One thing I'm particularly interested in.
What's that?
Is the development of central bank digital currencies.
Oh.
So DCs.
The digital yuan?
Yeah.
The digital dollar?
Yeah.
Big topic.
Big topic.
And it's closely tied to the future of crypto.
It is, isn't it?
Because if governments start issuing digital currencies,
their own digital currency,
it could potentially disrupt the entire crypto market.
It could change everything.
How so?
Well, right now,
yeah.
One of the big appeals of crypto
What's that?
Is that it's decentralized.
Not controlled by any.
It's not controlled by any government or central bank.
Right.
But if CBDCs become widely adopted, they could offer many of the same benefits as crypto.
Like what?
Like faster and cheaper transactions.
Okay.
But with the backing
up
of a sovereign government.
So crypto would have to compete.
Yeah.
With these government-backed digital currencies.
Exactly.
And it's not clear how that competition would play out.
It's a big unknown.
Some people believe
that
CBDCs could actually be good for crypto.
Good for crypto.
Because they would introduce more people to the concept of digital currencies.
Right. Get people used to it.
Can pave the way.
For wider adoption.
So CBDCs could help crypto grow.
That's one theory.
Yeah.
Kind of like a gateway drug to crypto.
I like that analogy.
But others worry.
That.
But CBDCs could stifle innovation. In the crypto space.
To hold it back.
And could even be used by governments to track and control people's finances.
So a loss of privacy.
That's one of the big concerns.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
So the development of CBDCs is something we need to watch.
Watch very closely.
Very closely, yeah.
Because it could have a profound impact.
On
the entire crypto ecosystem.
The whole crypto world.
All right, CBDCs are definitely on the radar.
On the radar for sure.
What else is shaping the global crypto landscape?
Another trend I'm watching. Is the growing institutional adoption of crypto.
Institutional adoption, what does that mean?
You're right. We're seeing more and more big players.
Big players like
banks.
Okay.
Hedge funds.
Hedge funds, wow.
And even pension funds.
Pension funds, that's big.
Starting to invest in crypto.
Wow, so the big money is starting to come in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a significant development.
Why is that so significant?
Because it brings legitimacy and credibility
to the crypto market.
It also injects a lot of capital into the space.
So more money flowing in.
Which can drive up prices and fuel innovation.
So the big money is starting to take crypto seriously.
They are. And that's changing the game.
Changing the game? How so?
It's no longer just a fringe movement of tech enthusiasts and libertarians.
So it's becoming more mainstream.
Crypto's becoming mainstream.
And that mainstreaming of crypto is probably only going to accelerate as more and more people
around the world
gain
access to the internet and smartphones.
So more people will be able to get involved.
Exactly.
And use crypto.
The developing world is a huge untapped market.
A huge untapped market.
For crypto.
Wow.
And as these economies grow and their populations come online, we can expect to see a surge in crypto adoption.
So the future of crypto is global.
Global?
It's digital. And it's increasingly intertwined with the evolution of the financial system as a whole.
You got it.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, isn't it?
But it's also incredibly exciting.
I agree.
It's a privilege to be witnessing this technological and financial revolution unfold in real time.
It's happening right now.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive.
We have, haven't we?
We've explored the policy battles in the U.S., the global regulatory landscape, and the rise of CBDCs, and institutional adoption.
A lot of big topics.
We've really examined the forces that are shaping the future of crypto, both within the U.S.
and around the world.
But there's still one more crucial piece of this puzzle.
One more piece.
We need to explore.
And
that's the impact of all this on you.
On the listener.
Our listener. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just an abstract discussion about technology and finance.
Right. It's about real people.
It's about how these developments might affect your life.
Your investments.
Your investments.
And your future.
So in the final part of our deep dive, we'll be bringing it all back home. Connecting the dots. Between these global trends and their potential personal implications.
So how does all this affect you?
Exactly. Stay tuned. Okay. We've talked about the policy shift.
Policy shifts, yeah.
In the U.S., the global regulatory landscape. And even the rise of those central bank digital currencies.
The CBDCs. Big stuff.
But now it's time
to bring it all back home.
And
see how these global trends connect to your own.
To our listeners.
Personal financial journey.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
That's what it's all about.
So imagine you're listening to all this and thinking,
okay, this is interesting.
Okay, fascinating stuff.
But what does it actually mean?
But what does it actually mean for me?
For me and my wallet?
Exactly.
Well, it really depends.
It depends on
where you are.
Your crypto journey.
On your own crypto journey.
All right, let's break it down then.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's say you're someone who's already invested in crypto.
They're already in the game.
What's going through their mind right now?
I'd imagine a mix of excitement. And maybe a touch of anxiety.
Anxiety? Why anxiety?
Well, the potential.
Yeah.
For a more crypto-friendly U.S. regulatory environment is definitely a positive sign.
Positive, okay. It could open the door for more innovation.
Yeah, more innovation.
More investment pouring into the space.
More money coming in.
And maybe even some nice returns.
Some profits.
Exactly. But there's also a lot we still don't know.
A lot of uncertainty.
How will these new regulations actually take shape?
Yeah, how will it actually work?
Will they be enforced consistently?
Will everyone play by the rules?
And what about the rest of the world?
Oh, yeah, the rest of the world.
Because the global picture is even more complex, isn't it?
Oh, it's a tangled web.
Every country is taking its own approach to crypto regulation.
Their own approach.
And keeping up with all the changes.
It's tough.
Can be a challenge.
Even for seasoned investors.
So for someone who's already got some skin in the game,
they've got money invested.
What's the best strategy right now?
That's a tough one.
Just sit tight and see what happens.
Well, sitting tight is never a bad strategy.
Especially in a volatile market.
In a volatile market like crypto.
But more importantly, stay informed.
Stay informed, okay?
Keep your finger on the pulse of the news.
The news, yeah.
Follow those policy debates.
And
do your research. On the specific crypto projects you've invested in.
Know what you own.
Don't get swept up by the hype.
No hype.
Or make rash decisions based on fear.
Don't panic.
Exactly. Think long term.
This is a marathon.
A marathon, not a sprint.
And always be mindful of your own risk tolerance.
How much risk can you handle?
Only invest.
Invest only.
What you can comfortably afford to lose.
That's the golden rule.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
But what about the folks who are just starting out?
The newcomers.
The crypto curious who are dipping their toes into this world.
They're just exploring.
For the first time.
What would you tell them? I'd say, this is an incredibly exciting time. To be getting involved.
In crypto.
It's like showing up to a party. Just as things are getting interesting.
I like that analogy.
You're not too late to the party.
Not too late.
But you're arriving just in time. For the main event.
There's so much potential.
So much potential.
So much innovation happening.
It's amazing.
In the crypto space right now.
It's a really dynamic space.
But let's be honest.
It can also be pretty overwhelming for a newcomer.
Overwhelming, yeah.
There are so many different coins.
Platforms.
So many platforms.
And protocols.
It's a lot to take in.
Where do you even begin?
Start with the basics.
Okay.
Take some time to learn.
About
blockchain technology.
The foundation of it all.
Then explore.
Explore what?
the different types of cryptocurrencies,
Okay.
and what makes them unique.
What makes them different?
And think about the real-world problems.
The real-world problems.
That crypto is trying to solve.
So don't just jump in head first.
No, take your time.
Educate yourself first.
Education is key.
Right. Start small.
Small steps.
Maybe experiment with a small investment.
Dip your toes in.
And gradually build your knowledge.
Knowledge.
And experience.
It's a journey.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Ask questions.
The crypto community is full of
love.
Passionate people
who
are eager to share their knowledge. That's good to know.
And help newcomers find their footing.
So connect with other enthusiasts.
Yeah, connect.
Join online forums.
Online forums.
Maybe even attend some crypto events.
Crypto events, that's a good idea.
Exactly. The more you immerse yourself in this world, the more comfortable you'll become.
More comfortable navigating it.
You'll find your way.
So whether you're a seasoned investor,
or
a curious newbie,
the
message is clear.
The message is clear.
Stay informed.
Stay informed.
Do your research.
Do your research.
And be an active participant.
In
this unfolding story.
It's an exciting story.
Because this isn't just about money.
It's bigger than money.
It's about a fundamental shift. In how we think about finance,
technology,
and even society itself.
The whole world is changing.
It's about empowering individuals.
That's a big one.
Driving innovation. And building a more inclusive and decentralized world.
Decentralized, that's the key.
And that's a future worth getting excited about.
I'm excited about it.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, haven't we?
From the halls of Congress to the global stage. And now back to your personal finances.
Your wallet.
It's been quite a journey through the crypto landscape.
The ups and downs.
And as we wrap up this deep dive,
I
want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
The future of crypto is not set in stone.
It's not set in stone.
It's being written right now. Through the choices we make,
Our choices.
the actions we take,
Our action.
and the conversations we have.
It's up to us.
So engage with this technology,
Engage with it.
explore its possibilities,
See what it can do.
and be a part of this unfolding story.
Be a part of it.
Because this is your chance
Your chance.
to shape the future of finance.
What an opportunity.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found this exploration insightful and empowering. And we encourage you to keep learning. Keep exploring.
And keep asking questions. Because the future of finance is in your hands.
It's in your hands.
Until next time, stay curious.
Stay curious.
And stay informed.